This is the Toro timemaster that I was putting the rear wheel adjuster on. And the bolt broke. This is actually the piece that has the tab on it that locks in to where it says, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Locks into there. So the bolt broke off inside of it. I went through like 9 nuts trying to get something to stick to that bolt, the weld, and the weld would not adhere to that. And if it did just a little bit, as soon as you started applying a little bit of torque to it to get the bolt out, it would just ring right off. And you can see that bolt's really porous, kind of like cast, and it just didn't want to hold the weld. It would just break right off. So I got to order this piece here just so I can install this piece here. So it'll be a few more days, I guess, before I can get that piece in here. All right. I finally got the broken screw out of this piece here, and just put in a plain Jane grade 5 bolt. So now I can finish up installing it on the mower. And I'm pretty much where I left off when it broke. So I'll finish showing you what you need to do. I got the bolt and everything out of here. I'm going to pry this piece off of the shaft here. If I remember right, I think I had to tap it a little bit. And I'm trying to do this between raindrops. When you're doing this, all you need is some little tappy taps. You don't need to wail on this thing too hard. You don't want to flare it out. What are you stuck on? What are you stuck on? There we go. Okay. So now you would take this piece here, install it on there like so. That large part of the needs to go through that hole there. You're going to try to reinstall this, which is going to be multiple pieces. A little juice on here. I know this ain't a lubricant, but that's all I got. And all this is going to want to drop down and slide, come loose on the other side. You're going to have to get it back up into place. Really? Want to be like that, do you? So that reduced side of that bushing goes through another hole. You got to line all that up at once. Now, why they would want you to line up a bunch of things all at once, I don't know. All right, still not lined up through both holes. It's hard to see through there because everything. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's there. But it's not all the way up through though. That's because, let me show you. This is what all you got to do is try to get this together. I guess what I could have done is put a block under here so it couldn't drop down. If I put a block under here so it couldn't drop down, I wouldn't have to worry about trying to get this back through its hole at the same time I'm trying to get it through its hole here and here. So I'll remember that next time. Put a block under here so this axle can't drop down, because if it drops down it comes out of its hole and you have to get that piece back up into this hole. At the same time you're trying to do it here. So that's what I got to do. Alright, let's see if we can get her. This is just about simple, but I didn't expect anything different. And you also got to line your hole up for your bolt that pinches all this stuff together. And this shaft has to stick up through there enough to put your little clip back on. There's a groove there you got to get lined up with. And there we go. Let's see if it'll stay there long enough for me to show you. Right there is a groove for that clip to fit in. And that clip is small. I lost the first one. Luckily I had another one laying around. And you need your snap ring pliers to put that back on with. At least that's the easiest way. Make sure that's in the groove. If it's not in the groove, it's going to eventually come apart. Now you can snug this bolt up. We're good to go. Now, should be able to lift up on this and move it to any spot I need to, and it should lock into place. And we're good to go there. All right. Now, take your back plate and put that on. And for the most part, it's self-explanatory. The axle for your wheels for the small hole, and the large hole is for that piece we just put on. And you take your little drive gear, you line that up and you slide it on. And you take this little funny looking clip here, and you slide that through the hole, and it'll lock into place. there's that. Now you can slide your wheel back on. You got to turn your wheel a little bit so that the gears mesh together. Once it meshes together, it'll finish sliding the rest of the way on. Oh my gosh. I'm going to go ahead and snug this up. Yep. That's that. That takes care of installing a new wheel adjuster on the Toro Timemaster. I replaced the front one. I showed you how to do that. I've replaced the back one. Had a little issue with it. Had to drill out a bolt, and I used a I couldn't find my extractors, and I really never had any good luck with them to begin with. And I just used a Torx bit, and that you would put in your drill or something. And I found one that will fit that hole, and I drove it in there. And then I took a 1/4-inch socket and a ratchet and turned it out. It was the easiest one I've ever done. So there we go. We've got 2 good height adjusters now. That was the only thing that needed to be done with this. So this one's done. I'll fire it up and give it a test run. So hopefully that was some good content for you. And hopefully you liked it. If so, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, send me some comments, let me know what you think. Be kind and help people when you can.